Hello everybody, my name is Shana. Today we are doing a 45-minute strength-focused workout. We're going to be using the TRX Suspension Trainer and the TRX Rip Trainer. After our warm-up, we're going to be doing alternating rounds. We have 7 of them, alternating between the Rip Trainer and the Suspension Trainer. On all these sets, we have 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of recovery. And when we're focusing on strength, especially in the Rip Trainer, we want to have nice, slow, controlled, grinding movements. All right, and then we're going to end with our TRX atomic push-ups to failure. Dun, dun, dun. So let's get started with our TRX warm-up. We're going to do your TRX standing rollout. My straps are at mid-length. I'm going to be standing facing away from the anchor point. Finding that nice, strong, active plank on the balls of my feet. Squeeze my butt cheeks. I'm going to roll my arms out just a touch and then bring those hands directly beneath my shoulders. Roll out just a touch. Strong plank back to shoulders. Body checks. Do you have 2 apples on your backside right now? Not squishy applesauce, 2 apples. Open, brace, and drive. Are you keeping those straps off of your arms? Try to avoid going all the way out to Superman. Do you have that nice straight surfboard body, ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles in alignment? Give me one more good one. Really squeeze the plank and return. Let's move to your squat row combo. So straps stay at mid-length, stand facing the anchor point. Lean it back, walk it under a bit, feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Drop your bucket down for a squat, a plank, a row, and a plank, alternating those 2 movements. Big squeeze behind those shoulder blades. Mobilizing your hips. Yes, we definitely have squat stuff today. Ugh. And big squeeze behind your shoulder blades. Yes, we also have rowing stuff today too. And 5, 4, 3, hide the ribs, 2, and 1, forward lunge with Y-fly. So my straps stay at mid-length. I'm going to stand facing away from the anchor point in my Frankenplank position. Arms are straight out in front of me. I'm going to take a nice step forward with my right foot, gently lower the left knee down, get a big stretch, press into the handles, come back up to that strong plank. Step my left foot forward, get a nice stretch through the chest and the hips, press down, come back up. It's like I'm slamming the hood of my car. Get that nice tight abdominal contraction, but also focusing on the stretch in the hip flexors. Make sure when you stand up, your body weight is directly above your feet. I'm not leaning forward, and that helps me find the proper alignment for this movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's move into your single leg hip hinges. Straps stay at mid-length, stand facing the anchor, walk it back with your arms straight out in front of you. Press down really hard on those handles to feel this stuff engage. Center your right foot to the anchor, hinge forward, a bit of a stretch, and come right back up. Try not to set down your left foot. Hinge forward and return. Now, if you've done some of my workouts before, you'll notice we do pretty much the same warm-up every time. The reason why is it's a pretty darn good warm-up. This is a great series of movements to get your body ready to work out. We're mobilizing places like your hips and your shoulders. We're stabilizing your core. We're focusing on balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch feet. Other foot, same thing. Hinge and return. Again, that nice, strong, active plank. Keeping your hips square toward the floor, actively pressing down on those handles. Are you keeping your hips lined up with the floor? Are you leading with that back heel? You should have a nice straight line from your ears to your shoulders to your bum to that back heel, avoiding pyramid butt. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do your lateral lunges. Give me a nice wide stance, toes pointed directly forward. Bend your right knee, get a nice stretch. Pull yourself back up. Bend your left knee, get a nice stretch. And pull yourself back up. Alternate side to side, getting an excellent stretch through your hips. Body check again, make sure those toes are pointed directly forward. And when you bend your knee, you're sinking your hips back like you're sitting on a little stool behind your bum. Down and up. Oh, you might be able to go a little bit lower as your hips warm up a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finally, your golfer's rotation with chest opener. Hands at belly button height, rotate up, touch the ceiling, drop the arms down, open, and close, bring it down, swing it up the other side, open, and close. If that's too much for your shoulders, move back towards your anchor. If you're not feeling that stretch as you rotate around, move a little further behind your anchor point or your door. Let's do one more on each side here, then we'll get going. All right, let's quick get our rip trainer set up because that's where we're going to be starting today. I'm going to take down this strap so it's not in the way for our first exercise. The rip trainer, really quick reminder when I set you up on this, we have 5 different zones on here. So when I hold all the way at the end, that's zone 1, zone 2, middle is zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 is closest to your cord. The hand closest to your cord is called the power hand. When I say mid zones, that means you're splitting the difference in each handle. So we're gonna get started with our rip drag. Your palms are down, mid zones. I'm gonna have your power hand be your right hand, stand facing the anchor point. Let's get into position. We're holding this for 30 seconds, 2, 1, and big squeeze. Now the middle of the bar is lined up with the middle of my chest. My feet are about shoulder width apart. We call it a wide symmetrical stance. My shoulders are even and I'm squeezing those buns. Remember, you've got those 2 apples on your backside. What we're doing now is getting your core engaged. This should feel like a plank. The cord wants to pull you like this, but we're resisting it. Keep everything tight. Tight, tight, tight. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna move to our rip drive. You still have 30 seconds. Enjoy this rest break. So we're going to keep your hands at mid zones. My right hand is still my power hand, and we'll be standing facing away from the anchor. You're going to fully extend your arms out in front of you. The further forward you are, the harder this is. The further back you are, the easier it is. We're going in 10 seconds. Roll out those shoulders and think about making your body nice and tight. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze everything. All we're doing is holding. Again, I want you to think about what a plank feels like. Now let's do some body checks. Do you have that space between your ears and your shoulders? I should be able to see those long dangly earrings. Do you have those tickle tummy abdominals really nice and tight? Do you have those 2 tight apples on your backside? Are you actively pressing forward, especially with that right arm? And are your feet grounded into the floor, resisting that rotation? 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do the main one. We're going to stay in this position. We're going to do your rip stack. So I'm going to have you slide your left hand to the end of the bar to zone 1. Flip your right hand over so it's palm up to zone 4. Now we're going to stand sideways to the anchor of your rip trainer. You might need to move in for this one. This one's tricky. For the rip stack, you're going to pull your left hand to your hip and extend your right arm out in front of you so the bar is completely perpendicular with your body. You ready for this? Going in 3, 2, and 1. We're just gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Shoulders are down and back. Now if that's too hard, you move it in a little closer. Making sure your posture's upright, the bar is parallel with the floor, but perpendicular to your body. Those buns are tight, those 2 apples are happening. My chest is open, tall and proud. I'm pulling in with my left and pressing around with my right. 10 seconds to go, and then we'll do it all again on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go back to your rip drag, but now we're gonna have your left hand be the power hand. So my palms are down, mid zones, the middle of each handle. I'm gonna stand facing the anchor point and walk it back. Remember, you've got a lot of control with the rip trainer. Your distance and way or toward the anchor is gonna make this much easier or much harder. But make sure your form looks really awesome before you walk back. Palms down, mid zones, middle of the bar, middle of my chest. Feet wide, symmetrical. I'm gonna squeeze, squeeze. Here we go. 30 seconds, tight. I want you to feel those shoulder blades pull together like you're trying to hold a pencil between them. Still showing me those long dangly earrings. Your head is floating off your shoulders. The bar is actually touching your chest, and the middle of the bar is right in the middle of your chest, right where your sternum is. And I'm really squeezing those buns. Pull, 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 pull. Squeeze it, brace it, drive it. This is an awesome one for posture. Keep squeezing, keep holding. 2, and 1. Oh, same hand grip. we're simply going to turn around for your rip drive. So palms down, mid zones, left hand is the power hand. We'll be standing facing away from the anchor. Again, keeping that stable, wide, symmetrical stance. And walking as far forward as you can. We still have 15 seconds to shake it out. Now you're starting to realize why you have the longer rest breaks for this workout. Extend those arms in front of you. Walk it forward, shoulders down out of your ears, buns tight. 2 and 1. Big squeeze. Lock it into place. Those same body checks again. Do you have that body as straight as a broomstick? 2 apples on the back sides. If somebody poked your butt cheeks right now, it would hurt their finger. Shoulders away from their ears. You're actively pressing your left hand out, really driving that bar away from you. And 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. One more in our plank series here. We have that rip stack on the other side. So my right hand is palm down, zoop. My left hand, all the way at zone 1, my left hand is palm up at zone 4. Standing sideways so my left shoulder lines up with the anchor. Feet are in wide symmetrical, and I'm gonna move it a little bit closer. My right hand's going to go to my hip. My left arm's going to extend, but I'm not gonna start too early because we have to hold that for 30 seconds. Roll those shoulders out. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Body check again. Is that chest tall and proud? Are you squeezing those 2 apples on your backside? Are you pulling the right hand in as you drive the left arm around? Is that bar staying totally perpendicular? As you get fatigued, it might start to do this. Keep it straight in front. Really ground those feet into the floor. Chest is up tall and proud, squeezing and bracing and holding. 3, 2, and 1. We are done with that series. Let's go to the suspension trainer for some rowing. We're going to do your TRX Single Arm Row. So for that one, I'm going to have you bring your straps fully shortened. So toggle down on the barrel lock adjuster, pull that all the way up. Then we're going to be standing facing the anchor point, holding on with one hand to the handle. I'm going to start with this handle at my rib cage. You still have 30 seconds. Actually, I'm going to start with my left side so you can see a little better. My left hand at my rib cage. My right hand is also at my rib cage. Eyes are up. I'm digging my heels into the floor. I'm going to straighten both arms at the same time. Keep my shoulders square and then pull right back up to that starting position. Always keeping tension on the straps. All right, roll it out. Let's get into position. Straps fully shortened. Stand facing. Left hand on the handle. Right hand at your rib cage. It's going to mirror that left hand. Heels dug in. Here we go. 30 seconds. Straighten both arms. Tight here. You're resisting that rotation. The really tricky part about these single arm rows is your shoulder wants to do that. So this stuff has to light up to prevent that rotation. Now, are you keeping your left shoulder away from your ears? Are you really digging your heels into the floor, keeping your toes up towards your shins for a nice, straight, strong body? Do you have those tickle tummy abdominals? 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds to shake it out. So you notice how my right hand and my left hand move together. That really helps you keep your shoulders square and engage more muscles in your back. Kind of a fun trick. Let's go to the other side. So now I'm going to have you take your right hand, the handle, hug it into your rib cage, eyes up at the anchor, dig your heels into the floor. Remember, the steeper the angle, the harder the exercise. We're going in 5, 4, tight, 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds here. Straighten and big squeeze, resisting that rotation. Remember, everything in this workout is slow and controlled. You're not going to get a lot of reps in 30 seconds, but the reps you do get in should be very challenging and should look really good. 15 seconds left here. Big squeeze and brace. Shoulders out of your ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We have to do those again on each side. I'm going to give you a slightly different view. So I'm going to hang my other suspension trainer up again. And again, my straps are fully shortened. And I'm standing facing the anchor. I'm going to go back to my left hand. Okay, hugging that left hand into my rib cage. Eyes are up at the anchor. Digging my heels into the ground. Buns tight. Shoulders down and back. Braced here. Going in 5, 4, maybe a little steeper this time. 2, and 1. Try to challenge that angle, and if you can maintain the same form, stay there. If things start to get squirrely or archy, then move it back. Nice and tight, pull and squeeze, driving those heels down. Buns tight, 2 apples. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna enjoy my 30 seconds now here. 30 seconds to recover, shake it out, other hand. Again, trying to challenge your angle a little bit more. We've seen this exercise already. You know what it's supposed to feel like, you know what it's supposed to look like. So let's see if we can walk your feet under just a touch. This is a lot harder than a double arm row though, isn't it? Right hand at my rib cage, eyes are up, heels dug in, strong plank, going in, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten and squeeze. Tight here. And move back a little bit, and that's okay. If you choose an angle that's too steep to keep good form, just scooch back. Or if you feel like you got a little more in you, walk it under a little bit. Are you keeping that right shoulder away from your ear? 3, 2, and 1. We have a minute recovery. Grab a little bit of water, and then we're gonna go back to your rip trainer for your rip 90-degree overhead press. That sounds like a whole lot. It's not that terrible. So I'm gonna grab my rip trainer. I'm gonna have my right hand be my power hand. So that's the one closer to the cord. Palms are down mid-zones. Let's find your end range of motion first. You still have 30 seconds, so you can breathe for a moment, but start grabbing your rip trainer. I'm gonna stand facing away in an offset stance. Left foot in front, right foot behind, arms extended so I can still see the rip trainer, but it's up. The name is misleading. Overhead is actually up here. That's too much on your shoulders. You want it just above forehead height. Then I'm gonna pull it into my chest, turn sideways, and then I'm gonna press it back into that overhead position. I'm pivoting on my feet. See that? Ready, gang? Going in, getting that end range. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, tummy tight, rotate 90 degrees, press it up. Stick that landing. And remember, the moral of today's story is slow and controlled. This is a fun one to get really powerful with, as are most rip trainer exercises. But I want you to focus on resistance and on perfect movement. When we come back to the side again, I'm gonna give you some options to make this one a little bit more challenging. Tummy tight, pivoting those feet. 2, 1. Let's get you set up on the other side. So I'm gonna have you turn around now. Palms down, mid-zones. My left hand is my power hand. And once again, I'm gonna start facing away from the anchor with my feet in an offset foot stance. My right foot is in front. That rip trainer is just above eye level there. Shoulders in my back pockets, tummy tight. I'm gonna pull the rip trainer into my chest so that I'm sideways to the anchor, then pivot my feet again, and stick the landing coming forward. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Bend it down, brace, pivot, stick the landing. Are you fully extending both arms equally? Are you still able to see the bar when you press it up? Are you keeping your shoulders away from your ears? Are you pivoting? Are you picking up that left heel, squashing a bug with the ball of the left foot as you rotate? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds. Let's go to the other side again. A couple things you can do to make this one more challenging. First of all, you can move your right hand away from the cord. So it was at mid-zones. Maybe you can move it in just a little bit to zone 4 or even zone 3. Okay? Also, you can move further away from the anchor. So I'm gonna move my right hand to zone 4 and scooch a little closer to you. All right, let's find that end range. Left foot is in front, right foot's behind. Arms slightly overhead. Do you feel the difference? 2 and 1. Bring it back, set, stick that landing up there. That load just went up. The core has to work even harder to complete that press. I'm still keeping my shoulders away from my ears. I'm pivoting this right heel off the ground, nice and slow and controlled, but I'm not resting anywhere. I always have tension on this cord. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Do the same thing on the other side. So now my left hand is my power hand. Again, to make this more challenging, you don't have to. I'm going to move my left hand over to zone 4. You could even go to zone 3, though, if you really want to challenge. And my right hand over to zone 1. I'll be standing facing away from the anchor, right foot in front, left foot behind in that offset foot stance. And I'm going to come a little closer to you again, too. All right, we're going in 5 seconds, so let's find that end range of motion. Slightly out of eye vision. And I pull it in, rotate, squeeze, double press up, shoulders out of my ears. Bring it back and press and drive. Big squeeze, both arms coming straight. Rotate, pivoting that left heel. I'm also kind of pulling back with my right arm as I'm pushing forward with my left. That helps me create my rotation. But make sure you're fully extending both arms. Pivot and squeeze. One more good one here. Good, you get another 1-minute break. Let's put that rip trainer away. We're going back to your suspension trainer. Feel free to grab a sip of water if you'd like. We're gonna do your hamstring curls on the ground. So I'm gonna hang this guy back up, and I'm gonna bring my straps to mid-calf length. So that means the handles are just below knee height. Another way to double check this is have a seat. Make sure those foot cradles are dangling just above your toes. If they're touching your toes, that means they're too long. If they're way above your toes, that means they're too short. You've got 30 seconds left, but let's start getting your heels in the foot cradles. To do this properly, 2 fingers in each foot cradle, and I know some of you are pros and you're fine, but if you are new to this, try it my way. It's pretty awesome. 2 fingers in each foot cradle. Christmas tree, roll back, tuck your knees into your chest, drop your heels down on your fingers, extend those legs out in front of you. Make sure your feet are hanging directly beneath the anchor. Head and shoulders down. If you can, lift your bum up or pulling those knees in and out. Let's do this, guys. Head and shoulders down. Your toes are back toward your shins. It's tempting to point your toes when you do this exercise, but that causes your calves to cramp, and it also makes your heels fall out of those foot cradles. So I want you to actively press down in the foot cradles. Is your head on the ground? Are your shoulders on the ground? I like to keep my palms up toward the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. 30-second rest break. Oh, now that 30-second rest break comes in handy, doesn't it? So we have 3 more sets of this. We're gonna do little things every time to make it just a little more challenging. For the second set, I'm gonna give you the option of scooting backward a bit. The further back behind the anchor or behind your door you are, the more challenging this exercise is. We're going in 10 seconds, so maybe you scooched back a little bit. Head and shoulders on the ground, palms up toward the ceiling, squeeze my buns. 2, 1, here we go. And notice how I'm going slow and controlled. I'm not trying to see how many I can get in. I'm just going through this motion, really focusing on tension in my muscles and proper body alignment and bracing my core. I'm also trying not to say any naughty language on this video, because if you've done these before, I don't love hamstring curls and hip presses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh. All right, that was our second set. For our third set, if you want to continue to make this more challenging, you can pick your arms up off the ground. You don't have to. It's just an option to continue progressing this exercise. So we still have 15 seconds. Enjoy your stretching. Make sure those heels are back in, though, when you're ready. We're going in 10. So I'm going to lay back down. And now, instead of having my arms here, they're going to go up here. Oh, boy. Pushing down in those heels, toes back toward your shins. Bring it up and drag those knees in and out, continually, actively pressing down in your heels, squeezing your buns, driving them up toward the ceiling. A little bit harder when you can't press your arms into the ground, huh? Nice and controlled. Pushing, squeezing, driving. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, one more set. I'm going to give you a totally different option. You can do anything we've done already, or you can combine your hamstring curl and your hip press. So this is what it looks like. I lift my bum up, I do hamstring curl, hip press, lower, straighten. It's pretty awful. So I'm going to do that one. You totally can if you want, or you can do any of those other options that we've done before we take our slightly longer rest break here. Going in 3, 2, and 1. So if you're doing the combo, it's hamstring curl, then drive the hips up, lower, straighten, my bum never touches. Combining those two pretty awful movements that are so good for you though. Strengthen your hamstrings and the back side of your body is important for your knee stability, your low back stability, your speed, your power, your explosiveness. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow! You get a minute break. Whew, I'm definitely gonna use that. And then we're gonna go back to the rip trainer. So again, I'm gonna take this down so it's not in the way. We're gonna do your rip lateral lunge row. Those rip trainer exercises are kind of a mouthful, aren't they? So you still have 45 seconds, but let's start grabbing that rip trainer and getting into position. I'm gonna grab my rip trainer. My palms are down mid-zone, so I'm gonna have my right hand be my power hand. So the right hand is closer to the cord. I'm standing facing the anchor. My end range of motion is I'm in my lateral lunge. My right knee is bent, my right toe is pointed forward. And then I step together and straighten my arms. When you do that, there shouldn't be any slack on your cord. So let's get into position, palms down, mid-zones, stand facing. I'm gonna have you get into your right lateral lunge, sink that right hip back like we did in warm-ups, middle of the bar, middle of your chest. Here we go. Step together, row and squeeze. This first 2 sets is gonna be just getting used to this movement and where your body is in space. Trying to keep your right toe pointed forward, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, focusing on that squeeze. Notice how I'm only lunging in the same direction as my power hand. So I'm actually lunging into that resistance, really loading my right hip. One more good one. All right, great. Let's turn it around. Try to stay in the same spot. You're simply going to turn the bar around. Palms are still down, mid-zones. My left hand is my power hand now. So the middle of the bar is at the middle of my chest, my end range. I'm in that lateral lunge. My left toes are pointed forward. Then I step together, straighten, make sure there's still tension on your cord. Step to the side, squeeze behind your shoulder blades. Going in, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten, my left toes point forward. You'll notice one of your legs might be a little bit weaker than the other, or a little bit less strong, might be a better word. And that toe might try to creep out sideways. That's your brain trying to use these muscles instead of these. So make sure you keep that toe pointed forward and you keep your heel grounded as you're stepping to the side. Big squeeze behind the shoulder blades, sinking the hips back. Awesome, let's switch sides. Now, time to make this a little more challenging. So of course you can move back a little bit. I'm also gonna change my grip a little bit again. My right hand will be palm down zone 4, left hand palm down zone 1. So now I'm gonna split the difference between those hands, and that's what's gonna line up with the middle of my sternum. That's quite a bit harder. I'm gonna find the end range of motion in that lunge and big squeeze. Shoulders down and back, get ready guys. Going in 3, 2, 1. Step together, straighten, resist that rotation. Isn't that amazing, the difference in resistance? Simply by moving your hand just a few inches across the bar, your core, your hips, everything really have to fight to resist that. That's what the bar is trying to do. You shouldn't do that. Big squeeze and return. Right behind those shoulder blades. Really sinking your right bum down and back. Can you start challenging that range of motion? Get lower. Whew. 30 seconds off. Let's switch sides. Remember, all these progressions I'm offering are totally optional. If you're still just getting used to the logistics and in your proprioception of moving around with the rip trainer, stick with the first version. Palms are down. Now I'm gonna bring my left hand to zone 4, right hand zone 1, and then I'm gonna move back just a touch again. Middle of the bar, middle of my chest, or middle of my hands, middle of my chest, left toes forward in that lateral lunge position. 2 and 1. Step together, straighten the arms, resisting rotation, step back and squeeze. Step over and return. Shoulders down, chest stays up. Big squeeze. Are you really sinking that left hip back? Pulling back, especially with the left arm. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, you survived that one. We're gonna do your TRX pike ups. This one's no joke either. So once again, I'm gonna hang these straps back up. They should already be at that mid-calf length position. That's where we want to be. We still have about 45 seconds, but we are gonna get your toes in and end up ground facing away from the anchor point. A really important thing about these is your hips should never sag. If your hips sag or you feel any sort of low back pain, stop. Set your knees down, reset, either rest the rest of the set or join us in a little bit. Let's get those toes in, 2 fingers in each foot cradle, Christmas tree, roll it back, pop those toes in, flip over. So now I'm ground facing away from the anchor point. Hands and knees on the ground. I'm gonna have you drive your heels back into the handles. Let's find your plank. Shoulders stacked above your wrists, buns tight, 2 apples. And here we go. Press down, stick the landing, and right back to the plank. Again, keeping your shoulders directly above your hands. If this pike up is too hard, you can either give me a TRX crunch or just hold a nice strong plank. But remember those 2 apples we talked about in the beginning? I want to see them right now. Really focus on them and really stick it before we come right back up to your pike position. I'm actively pressing my hands into the floor. Come on down, knees down. Take a little break. We have 30 seconds to recover. Oh. Yeah, these are tough. It's a lot of work in your shoulders too. It's not just your core because your shoulders are pressing into the floor and trying to keep your body stable as well. All right, let's get ready to do these guys again. I'm gonna tuck in my shirt. All right, getting ready for that plank position. Heels back, calves tight, quads tight. 2 apples, come on up. Here we go, 30 seconds. Push down to lift up. And stick the landing. The really tricky part is keeping your shoulders directly above your wrists. When you rock forward, that kind of pinches your wrists, and it's not very comfortable. But it's a harder plank when you're lined up correctly. Ugh. I'm also actively pressing the tops of my feet into the foot cradles to help keep proper core engagement. 3, 2, and 1. That was 2 sets. How you feeling? Only 2 more of those to go. You're doing awesome. Then we have 1 more thing on the rip trainer, and then we'll do your atomic push-ups to failure. Then we stretch them, we're done. I think that's not too much, right? Or was that not very motivating? All right, let's shake it out a little bit. Another set of pikes. Listen to your back, listen to your body. Heels back, calves, quads, apples engaged. Tickle tummy abs. Come on up, 2, 1. Here we go. Push down, drive up. And again, I'm not trying to get 50 reps in. I'm going nice and slow and controlled, focusing on full muscle contraction, proper posture, pressing my heels back into those handles, shoulders aligned over the hands, level belt line, 2 apples. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, 1 more set of these guys. These get quite a lot harder as you go, don't they? Let's shake it out a little bit. Roll those shoulders out of your ears. My back is feeling a little funny recently. I have a toddler that sleeps in bed with me right now. I know I'm supposed to enjoy this phase, but hopefully someday I'll get a full night's sleep in my own bed. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, strong, active plank. Push down, lift up, and stick it. Ugh. So I'm actually training for my night's sleep with the wiggle monkey toddler. Just a few more reps here. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Gently set your knees down, double butt kick. Oh, all right. 1 more movement before our grand finale here. We're going to do your rip hockey slap shots. These are fun to do, super speedy and powerful, but today I'm going to have you make it a little less fun by focusing on strength. So your hand position here, my left hand is palm down, zone 1. Right hand palm up, zone 4. My right shoulder is standing sideways facing the anchor. My right hand is the power hand. You still have 30 seconds, but I would start getting into position now. The end of my bar is going to end up about 6 inches near the ground in front of my left foot. So we're going to start at that end range. Here's my hockey stick. It just hit that puck across the rink. My left hand is by my hip. I'll stand up, make sure there's no slack, pulling my left hand in, push the right arm around. Let's find that end range. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Slow and controlled. I come up. I'm going to pull the left hand down, press the right arm forward. I know you really want to let this thing fly, but I want you to take your time, making sure you have tension on the top as well, and you're not getting slack on that cord. We want to avoid slack on the cord, because when the cord goes from slack to no slack, that's a pretty big change in resistance, and our backs don't love that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get in position for your rip hockey slap shot on the other side. So again, standing sideways, my right hand, palm down, zone 1, left hand, palm up, zone 4. Feet in that nice wide symmetrical stance. I'm going to get the end of my rip trainer, the end of my hockey stick, about 6 inches past my right foot. Now, if you're right-handed, this side feels a little funny. Nice and low to the ground, I've pivoted my left foot. I'll come back up, make sure there's no slack. Let's get to our end range. Right here. Here we go. Pick it up, I unpivot. Now I pull my right hand, push my left, get nice and low to the floor. For my tall friends, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Nice and controlled. It's hard to do this slow. You feel every single possible muscle fiber in your core firing when we go slow with this exercise. Are you keeping those shoulders out of your ears? And are you keeping your shoulders back and down? It's tempting to round your spine. 2, 1, good. Other side, and you know what we have to do? We gotta make this a little bit more challenging. So similar to what we did before with that rip 90-degree overhead press, I'm gonna move my right hand from zone 4, I'm gonna move it in a little bit closer to my left hand, to zone 3, and I'm gonna come a little bit closer to you. So let's find our end range of motion first. Again, this is optional, you don't have to change your hand position. So I'm gonna find the end range just past my left foot, and here we go. It's up, push, pull, strike, and return. My left hand's pulling in. Make sure you're not just pressing with your right arm, but the left arm is pulling towards you. If you moved your hands, do you notice how the difference is very significant? Even by moving your hand just a little bit. I'm picking up my left heel, squashing the bug with my right foot. One more. All right, other side. All right, rip hockey slap shot, last round. My right hand's palm down, zone 1. I am going to slide my left hand to zone 3, right in the middle of the bar. Again, I'm gonna move a little bit closer to you. Right hand down, left hand up, finding my end range of motion just past my right foot. The bar is down near the floor, chest is up tall. I'm gonna bring it back, make sure I don't have any slack. Let's find the end range, going in 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up controlled. Bring it down controlled. I'm pushing and pulling. Drive the right hand into your hip. Bring your left arm forward. Chest stays up tall and proud. Nice and slow and controlled. Pivoting off the left heel. 10 seconds left. Tummy is tight. 2 and 1. Oh, you did it. All right, let's get ready for our grand finale here. We're gonna do your TRX atomic push-ups until you can't do them anymore. So, we're gonna hang your straps up. They should still be at mid-calf length from those pikes. And I'm also gonna have you grab something like a yoga block. Of course, I left my yoga block in the other room. So I'm gonna use my water bottle. That's about 5 inches in height. 3 at the lowest, 6 at the thickest. And this is going to be my marker. All right, so straps are mid-calf length. We're gonna pop the toes in so we're ground facing away from the anchor point. Now this is as many as you can do. I'm gonna do as many as I can do. You might be able to do more, you might not do so many. Okay, totally up to you. The goal is the next time you do this workout, you do more of these. All right, option 1, you stay on your knees. Back is straight. I do a push-up, chest touches my water bottle. I come up and do the crunch. Option 2, we do the full TRX atomic push-up. So I hit my strong plank, lower down, touch the water bottle, knees come in. All right, making sure the hips don't sag. The second your hips sag, you're done with these. So 1 set, if you get done before me, just start stretching. If I get done before you, feel free to pause the video until you finish your full set, or finish your full set, rewind, and then do the stretches with me. All right, guys, strong plank. Find your object. Ready, set. I'm gonna do as many as I can do. Good luck. Are you squeezing those butt cheeks? Are your eyes out ahead of you slightly? Are those hips coming up a little bit with the crunch? I think 15 is gonna be my number today. Ugh. Whew. All right, if you're still going, keep going. This water's been tempting me during that whole set. And what I want you to do is, if you can actually physically write down this number that you got, so the next time if you want to repeat this workout again, you can try to improve your atomic push-up number. And make sure you use the same object again too. Because if you go to something that's a little bit higher, it'll be a lot easier to get an easier number, and vice versa. Let's cool it down a little bit, everybody. We're gonna start with your T-spine rotation, because we did so much rotating today. So bring your straps up to mid-length. Now have you stand sideways to the anchor, with my left shoulder facing the anchor. My right arm is holding onto the handle, reaching all the way across my body. My left foot is in front, right foot's behind. Left arm over the top. Big inhale. Exhale, I'm gonna have you fall open, eyes follow that thumb, shoulders away from your ears, and just breathe. And then inhale, bring it in. Exhale, come back out. Shoulders away from your ears. You can make this a little less intense by moving away from the anchor, making sure this inside arm stays straight. Inhale, bring it in. And exhale, fall open. And slowly come on out of there. Let's switch sides. I'll give you a different angle here. Again, your straps are at mid-length, standing sideways. Now I'm gonna have my right shoulder face the anchor. So my left arm reaches all the way across my body. My right foot's in front, left foot's behind, right arm over the top. Inhale, exhale, eyes follow the thumb. A few deep breaths here. You might even get some snap, crackle, pops for free here. And bring it in, inhale. Like I said, we did a lot of rotation today. Exhale. So this is going to help keep our thoracic spine, the upper back, mobile. This is the part of your back that should be mobile, should help you rotate. Inhale, exhale, fall open again. Oh, this feels so good. And slowly bring that back. We're going to do your standing figure 4 stretch. So keep your straps at mid-length. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Sink your hips back into that imaginary chair. My chest is up tall and proud. I'm not falling backwards. I'm using the straps for proper posture. And I'm pressing my right knee down away from my body, but my chest stays open. Eyes stay up. I can do some circles on my right ankle, but you can feel those lunges. And the Rip Trainer is tricky. Go ahead and switch sides. It feels like it's mostly upper body and core when you're doing the workout. The next morning, it's always your bum that's gonna be sore, because your glutes, your legs, we're helping resist that rotation as well. Really sink those hips down, chest is up. Gently pulling on those handles. You can do some circles on that left ankle. Good. Finally, let's do your chest and torso stretch. Straps still at mid-length. Stand facing away. Walk it forward. Bring your arms into the T and step one foot in front. Thumbs stay up toward the ceiling. Actively press your arms apart, but let your shoulders Fall away from your ears. And just breathe. I'm going to have you move back just a touch. Let's do some snow angels here, dropping the arms down and up. Mobilizing your shoulders after all of that rip training work. Keep a light bit of tension on those handles too. Now I'm going to have you step back, feet together, forward fold. Take a bow, just hang there for a moment. Hands hold on to those handles. And come on up. As always, give yourself a hand. That was a tricky one. We used the rip trainer, we used the suspension trainer. Hopefully you learned some new and cool exercises and how to make those exercises more challenging. Also, when you come back and do this workout again, make sure you try that atomic push-up challenge and see if you can get even one more awesome rep. I cannot wait to work out with you guys again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.